Do women have deep, sustainable, wonderful friendships? Or are most women just free agents working with people who have similar goals over a period of time? I've watched the shows Guy Code and Girl Code, and it was fascinating to me how there were actual communal rules for being a man and interacting with one another versus the Girl Code, where it was more like individual, take care of yourself, and didn't really seem to have anything to do with your relationships or how you treat other people. This seems to be an extension of how relationships seem to operate between the different genders. It feels as though there's a loyalty and camaraderie among men that can flow kind of easily and just seems to just be a thing that they do. Whereas with women, it feels more like there's this unspoken war happening at any moment, and you never know when one of your partners will become your enemies or if there's been an enemy among you the entire time. I'm Latia, and I love just sharing about relationships and life and different experiences. And this battle of the sexes I find interesting because I've heard of someone, we were having a conversation, and what I've seen is that there's this virgin whore dichotomy where women are either good girls or bad girls, and it's due to the fact that it was like, as a man, I can only see you as my wife and my girlfriend, or you're a slut. You can't be both. You're either going to be chaste and pure or you're going to be trash. Like, there is no middle ground where you can be like a sexy wife or whatever. So that is, historically speaking, from the patriarchal society, women being seen as property, and then it developing in this mistress, wife, other woman kind of culture that we have, where he said that as a man, he has had a girlfriend and another woman, and the women will fight each other over holding him accountable for his actions. And I find that to be fascinating because throughout the course of our conversation, it also came up that if there's a group of women and it's known that one of the women is in a relationship with a married man, instead of, hey, he's married, you don't want to go down that path, that doesn't seem like a good idea, it's like, yeah, take his money, do that, we don't care that he's married, who cares about the wife? It's about the husband and what you're getting out of this relationship. And I know I've read different things, like I used to read the Black Girls Are Easy blog by G.L. Lambert, and he would talk about Spartaning up. And one of the premises that he would make was sometimes a man in a relationship is a more attractive person and more appealing than a single man because he is vetted. He has proven himself to be worthy of relationship, someone has claimed him, and in that relationship, it's highly likely he is developing the skills to be a good partner. So he is of the mindset, you are a Spartan, you get what you want, kick those other women down, it doesn't matter. So as women, we are taught to be strong and independent. We are supposed to be able to do any and everything. And when it comes to relationships, it's no different. Women aren't friends and comrades, and we're not at war together. It's more like we're constantly comparing and fighting among ourselves. And so it's not like, oh, women, they're so united and fun. It's women are very, I would almost say, selfish and self-centered, and not necessarily as a bad thing because you have to take care of yourself. But I think the problem that comes in is sometimes it's more out of insecurity and an inability to really connect deeply with other people than it is like strength or something to be proud of. So it's as though women are at war with one another, women are also at war with men, and men are just kind of chilling, doing whatever they want to do. So it's like, as a man in bro code, I feel like I've heard of bros before hoes for like years, and that seems like something that is like a bit true, where it's like, I don't think I've seen very men like really fight over a woman or lose their relationship or however it goes. My dad and I were having a conversation, and I was like, Dad, who was the first person you had sex with? And he said, your uncle's girlfriend was my first. And I was just like, what? He was like, well, what happened is We each had these girlfriends. Somehow it was like, we're with the wrong person. They ended up switching. And then my dad's first was my uncle's ex-girlfriend. So they weren't dating at the time. And I was just like, okay, Dad. He's like, yeah, I like to say it that way because it sounds funny. And it sounds very dramatic. It's characteristic of my dad. And I find that fascinating that his first being my uncle's ex or my uncle's girlfriend was funny to him. It was just a joke. He didn't care. Yet, when it came to other relationships that I've seen, there's been, if there's two women friends and one of those friends gets a boyfriend and they're dating, they part ways, and then the other friend dates the ex without a conversation, that is grounds for ending a relationship. You are no longer friends. You violated the rules. You didn't have a conversation. You weren't a woman about it. You didn't have integrity or character. Then again, maybe if they would have had the conversation first, hey, this person and I are interested. Let's have this conversation. Like, is it okay? Like, do you mind? Ask for the blessing. Have that conversation. Then maybe the friendship could survive because it would be like, yeah, that wasn't that big of a deal. Or, hey, could you wait? But you give the other person an opportunity to have that discussion. Whereas there are lots of times where it feels underhanded if you just go for the relationship without conversing with the person who's supposed to be your friend. And I'm not saying that either way is good or bad, but I just find it fascinating how I've seen women friendships end when guys get involved. And to me, I don't think that would necessarily say that the friendship wasn't that good or strong. I would wonder, what is it that led that man to be the breaking point for that friendship? Was it how it was done? Because I've seen where if you're going after your friend's ex and you don't have a conversation and not enough time has passed and different things, then that makes you look like a shady person and your character becomes questionable. If I can't trust you to have a conversation with me before you go with my ex, how can we move forward in this relationship where what other secrets are going to come to light? Have you always liked my boyfriend? Did you like him beforehand? Did you see it as an easy opportunity for you to get into a relationship since we all became familiar? There's a lot of questions that may not have been answered, and depending on the relationship, might not be worth diving into and correcting. So now a potentially great friendship is ruined. I've done different things in my relationships with women, and I have a lot of relationships that ended over things that I'm like, I have no idea why you won't talk to me anymore, but I can't force you to have a conversation with me, and I'm not gonna chase you. I don't like chasing people in relationships. If you're someone I care about, I might chase you a little bit and be like, hey there, hey, yeah, it's me. Give me some attention. Like, I want you. Like, give me love. Like, let me hear about your life. Like, I just need time with you. But you have to be someone worth my attention. And usually that's like one of my younger sisters, maybe my little brother, because sometimes he just doesn't text or answer his phone. Or you're one of my close friends or someone that I just feel like I really need to have a conversation with you. And that's like a small group of people. And I've seen different women friendships form. And I guess like recently I met a group of women and one of them was like, there was a weird energy between her and I I'm like, I have no problems with you, but you seem to have a lot of problems with me, and I don't care. But this person in particular, we're having conversations about different relationships, and this person would bring up, it feels bad when someone does not follow the advice that I give them in different situations. So this person would take, you're not listening to me, therefore I'm mad at you and I want to cut you down. And they didn't say it in that way, but it was along the lines of, if you don't listen to me and the advice that I give you, I want to attack. I want to defend myself. Like, why didn't you do what I say, and control the situation? And to me, that says that there's a lot of insecurity there. Why is this person's choice such a deep reflection on who you are? Why is that the grounding behavior? And my mom even had it a little bit where she gets upset when I don't follow her advice, and I'm like, Mom, it's not because I don't love you or don't trust you or don't want to listen to you. It just didn't resonate. It just wasn't for me, and I could tell that wasn't the right move forward. And I guess, like, for me, what I see in this is just that mean girl structure, that mean girl hierarchy that comes into play, where there is a leader, a queen bee, someone who's controlling, a very alpha woman, and how insecure those people must be, and how they're always feeling threatened by a potential shift in power. Because, like, I guess I've seen very few women friend groups where it feels like there's just camaraderie and fun and play. It feels like there's someone in control, other people following, and it's like, it's more like a business and a political organization than it is a relationship. And I've seen a lot of things like that, where even in like dynamic duos, it's like there's the really straight-laced rule following person, and then there's a wild card, and it's like there's like this almost codependent relationship that's created. And it's not necessarily because you actually respect the other person, it's just because, well, we're similar enough and I'm used to taking care of people like that, or like there's like some other need and other background to it. But when it comes down to it, I don't feel like I've seen very many healthy, amazing relationships among women. And I've done this program where there's a group of women and they call themselves sister goddesses, and they feel like, yeah, we're rah sisterhood. And part of me feels like a lot of it's kind of BS. And it's not because there's not an intention to create it, but if you're willing to backstab or go behind people's back or use information that you shouldn't have, and like really just, I don't know, there's just lots of nasty things that people do because we're people. But how do you really create strong bonds and like ties among a group of people where we're different? Our intentions and motivations are different. I don't like to be called a sister goddess. I don't find that title to be, I don't need the title because I see the divine in every person. I feel like if you need such a title, you're just practicing still. Like, you obviously don't take ownership of it because it's not a habit and ingrained in the way that you identify and go through the world. I don't need to call you anything special to honor that you are divine. It's just how I see people. But when it comes to relationships between men and relationships among women, do you have any differing views? Is what I'm saying making sense? Am I just limited in my perspective? Because I am not a woman who has a lot of female friends, and a lot of my female friend groups are, I don't have those. Like, I deal with groups of women, but I'm not integrated into the woman space. And when I go into different spaces, I feel more hostility and coldness from women than I do from men. And maybe it's because I'm a Black woman, maybe it's because I'm opinionated, maybe the energy that I radiate is reflective of, like, you know, a lot of the things that I know that I'm still working on and processing. I don't know. Please let me know. I would love to hear other opinions on how do these relationships work. Is there a girl code? What other rules to guy code are there? What prominent same-sex relationships have really shaped your life? Because I find relationships to be so fascinating, and I feel like we take friendship for granted. I feel like I meet a lot of people who meet other people, and from day one, you're my best friend, we're gonna do everything together, and they just do that. And I know I personally am not that type of person. The only lady friend that I have who was like a dynamic duo with me, I was very resistant to, like, leave me alone. I don't like you. You ain't that great. And then one day I was like, please leave me alone. Like, don't talk to me till the morning. She didn't. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so rude. And she's like, what? I don't care. And I was like, okay, you're cool. And then I was like crying to her about like boy drama and stuff that summer. It was awesome. But please comment, let me know what you think. Share this with anyone who's opinionated and has feelings on relationships, because I really want to learn more. Like, are women good friends? Do they have lasting friendships? I really want to have a conversation about it, because I call BS. I don't feel like that exists. And people are like, women friendship is so great. No, it's not. It's very toxic and disgusting in most cases. But I could be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I would love to learn more about this. So please comment, subscribe, like, dislike. If you dislike, tell me why. I want to learn more. So see you next time.